forward to kicking things off with the Comsol Volkswagen Challenge. It's great to see a big field of cars coming down for the Volkswagen Challenge, and we caught up with some of the drivers.
Hi, I'm Rory Atkinson, driving in the Comsol VW Challenge.
Hi, I'm Gerard Dennen.
Hi guys, my name is Wayne Krause.
Hi, I'm James Hurley.
Hi, I'm Lyle Ramsey.
Hi, my name is Yanni van Rooyen.
Hi, I'm Jacques Smith.
Hi, I'm Ian Stevenson.
Driving a Polo B in Class B.
Driving the Class A starter pack company Polo.
I'm going to be racing a ELB Construction Volkswagen Polo in Class C.
I'm racing in Class C with a VW Polo Classic.
I'm in the white Polo B16 and I'm currently looking for a sponsor.
Car number 96, 2-litre GTI Polo.
And I'm driving a Polo Vivo.
Driving number 836 of the Comsol Polo 6R with a 2-litre 16-valve motor.
Look out for me, I'll be winning, hopefully.
Sponsored by myself and Yanni, and we're enjoying it.
Today I'm going to give the youngsters a hard time in Class C. They must watch out for me.
And as you can see, qualifying, as always, very, very close. With James Hurley just outdoing Rory Atkinson in Class A, Darren Nathan also top of the list in Class B, and in the Class Cs it was Jacques Smith who had the fighting words who got to the front end. On the grid and ready to rock and roll now. It's going to be a very, very tight race here between these guys. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, the championship is still very much up for grabs overall and in each of the categories too. 30-second board about to go up, and looks like lights are ready to rock. Joining me in commentary for this first race will be Dave Peterson. First time we've had you in two wheels and now onto four, Dave.
Cars have too many wheels, Greg, but it's James Hurley once again out front in the starter pack VW Polo. He's been fast all weekend, lifts the back end of that car up, and look at the dust as they fly through their great slow-mo shot. Then the Class Bs will be starting off. We're on board with Andy Gosman. Let's hope he gets a good start in his Golf.
It looks like problems on one of the cars on the right-hand side there. I'm not quite sure who didn't make it out, but as they head down towards turn one, the Batman is on the outside. A good start from Ramsey. Ramsey has got the whole shot. Nathan slots in behind him, and he's going to have to try and get way past the youngster from an early gauge here. It's not going to be easy. Here comes the Class Cs too. A nice little start there in the Class Cs, and looks like Yanni van Rooyen. He did mention the fact that he was going to be fighting it out with the full field as we go on board here with the Bat Lady. Dalton on her left-hand side. Oh, and it's getting extremely close into turn one, right from the word go for C.
Alka early on the brakes here this time, because remember Swartkorps, she was very late on the brakes, didn't work that time. It looks like Andre Needham stuck on the grid there as well, Greg.
Yeah, he didn't get a good start and unfortunately just pulled to the sideline, but it is a brand new car for him, so it might be a little bit of gremlins that are still going to be worked out in that Polo of his. Back on board here with Ian Stevenson, and this is the big man from Comsol in the thick of it, there's no doubt about it, right on the tail of Prinsloo and looking for a way to sneak past on the Beetle. Derek Smallberger certainly having a good start there, sitting in fourth.
I was having a look at those cars in the pits. They are so well prepared, those 2-litre Polos. Unbelievable amount of preparation going into them, making their own throttle bodies now in South Africa. Really interesting.
Yeah, it's magic to see all the development going into this class. And of course, every single time we come racing, the class gets bigger and bigger, especially down here in the Class Cs. The incredible Polo there, Kraus getting it completely out of shape. Oh, a little bit of assistance to the Golf 1 as he gets it completely out of shape there. Sean Kraus, well, you can see, didn't follow his brother through there. Wayne, unfortunately, was much better in the incredible Polo, but the Golf from X35 was now parked on the sideline and has to come right from the back of the field.
We're back at the front of the field with James Hurley holding off Rory Atkinson. Waldo Mankey is just behind them in the Performance Masters Polo.
And look in the background, running wide there. I think that was Robertson. Yes, indeed, the soluble renewable energy car running wide as they came into the second last corner. Not the first time that somebody's done that. Change up in Class B. Yes, indeed, Nathan at the front end and being closed down now by Ramsey. Ramsey looking to retake that position. He only was able to hold it for a couple of laps and now has to fight back for the lead of Class B. Class C, though, what a run here from Jacques Smith. What an awesome start here. He's in a brand new car and it's certainly going like a rocket ship.
Francois Van Zyl in the mix there as well in the yellow car just ahead of Philip Cruiser. So the Class C is having a wonderful race. Normally Velcom, they spread out a lot more than this, Greg.
Yeah, check out Yanni van Rooyen as well, just ahead of the Bat Lady. So that little battle is not done yet. This battle is certainly not done, Dave. And at the front end of Class A, you can see just how hard Hurley's working to keep Atkinson at bay. Behind them, looks like the rest of the field being held up right now by Valdi Monkeys, and the Performance Masters boys are certainly going to have to work hard. You can see how hard he's having to work because Derek Smallberger, who we just saw the onboard shot from, is slowly but surely surely reeling in the back end of that Performance Masters car. And it looks like it might be a tight battle here. Here's Class B's.
Notice how bumpy the track is coming out of there, because you'll see these cars, they've got very hard suspension setup. Obviously the tyres doing most of the suspension work, and they're bouncing as they go up towards the Coke bottle.
And Gosman looks going into turn number 5, and of course this is the toe of the boot. It's all about the 4 polos in front of him, and the Batman hasn't found a way to close in on them. He is slowly but surely catching Hollywood Holiday, but Dion Holiday is going to be a tough man to get past. And speaking of those bumps, Dave, I have to agree, this is a big concern considering we've got World Superbikes coming here later in this year.
Well, we didn't want to mention two-wheels, but that is happening later in the year. Now, this is the fastest part of the track for these guys, flat out through that section. It's pretty impressive the way they actually keep that foot buried as they go through there.
Yeah, they have to. Front-wheel drive, you've got to pull it out. Otherwise, if you come off there, you're going to start slipping and sliding all over the place. And you've got to try and find a maneuver to find a way past the person in front of you. And that's
Smith,
exactly...
though, look how he's holding him off in Class C. I thought they were going to swallow him up, but he's holding him off.
He's doing a super job. Back on board with the Bat Lady now on the back end of Yanni van Rooyen. And Yanni van Rooyen certainly looks like he's got some pace in that old Polo Classic. It's one, and of course, yes, indeed, Mrs. Batman on the bonnet there certainly knows what to do in this class. And remember, she, of course, is the champion in Class C and had the Rookie of the Year last year.
Starter pack versus Comsol out front. Oh, a bit of tyre smoke coming off Aldi Mankey's car as he puts the brakes on. On board with Ian Stevenson. Notice the Herbie car go into the dirt on the inside there.
He's certainly using a little bit of extra track to go evasive and keep Prinsloo at bay as they come onto the main straight to start another lap. Ian Prinsloo, though, is certainly looking dangerous and probably one of the fastest cars right now in Class A as he looks to get past Herbie and the Beetle that Derek Smallberger is piloting right now. As they get on the brakes now, a little bit of a gap has opened up between Atkinson and Hurley.
Two drivers at the front, vast experience with karting as well. You can see the good lines they're taking as they go into that turn number 1 here at the Phakisa freeway. Class B, hanging it right out there. Boy, this is a great dice.
Yeah, Ramsey's all over the back looking for a way through. Oh, there you go. Speaking of way through, he's found a way through. Prinsloo has got past Smallberger. So a nice bit of maneuvering there. Must have been coming out of turn number 1 through the little kink as they head towards the toe of the boot now. He's moved up to 4th place. There's not enough time, I don't think, for him to close in on that 3rd place car, but you never know. Things can go wrong, and what they usually do is go wrong at this stage of the race.
Looking at the difference in lap times between Class A and these cars in Class B, 3 seconds a lap, Greg, it's quite a lot. But if you look at the technology in the cars, that explains it.
Yeah, certainly does. And of course, look at the battle that they're having too. The Class A's are kind of spread out a bit more than the Class B's are. So when you are on the defensive like Nathan is doing right now, he has slowed himself down and the rest of the field. So they're not getting through the laps as quickly as what the Class A guys were doing due to the fact that they're fighting so hard for honours in Class B.
Good drive from Gerard Henning there. He's in the Class B, number 7 All Toyota Spares Polo. Back on board with Ian Stevenson at the front of the field in Class A, and he's really wanting it. This is the fastest part of the track for these guys.
Yeah, it's absolutely flat through there. It's amazing to see how front-wheel drive can go through there at close to 190 k's an hour. It's just very, very impressive. Some smoke out of Valdi's car again. You picked up on it earlier. I'm a bit concerned about that, and I think the COC will probably also be looking at that with a little bit of concern.
Is it tyre smoke? Oh, and somebody's run straight off the track.
Hollywood Holiday.
There he goes. Oh, he just lost a few places. On Andy Gosman then in the Golf. Oh, listen to the drop. Now we're going to have a problem.
Oh, how did you just come straight back on the track there, Hollywood? And didn't see the Batman. Oh, Van Vletter's not going to be happy about that. He just got...
Greg, he's going to lose 2 places. Not going to let that happen, is he?
No, definitely not. And that's unfortunate for him. But as you can see, it was just a matter of just getting it ever so slightly skew as he came back onto the circuit there. Batman had nowhere to go. He just got tapped by the red Polo, the snap-on tool Polo, taking him out.
Notice Henry Van Vletter. They kept the foot buried to pull that thing straight.
Yeah, he is overall champion for one reason. He can drive that car of his. But he's still getting to grips with Class B. Remember, he was in Class C last year. At the front of Class A, though, a massive gap now. And it doesn't look like Hurley is going to be caught by anybody. Rory Atkinson has tried hard, but has been found wanting. Etienne Prinsloo has started to make his way a little bit further up the Class A field here in race number 1. And that's due to a little bit of incident that's happened between the other Prinsloo car, the other Sasfin car, and of course Herbie. These 2 Golf 2s, though, are having a ding-dong now that Gosman has closed in on the back of Van Vletter. The 2 Golf 2s very evenly matched.
But Nathan's still leading out in the Class B. The Class C is still hard at it. Unbelievable action from these guys. And it's Jacques Smith who's leading at the moment in Class C ahead of Adrian Dalton, Elke Van Vletter, the Bat Lady as you call her, in 3rd place.
And you can see Hurley closing in now on one of the back markers there. That was Sean Krause. He was the man who got T-boned right at the start of the race. Had nowhere to go and has recovered quite nicely, but has been caught by James Hurley. But the starter pack once again are going to be at the top of the podium as the checkered flag comes out for race number 1. Winning out Class A ahead of Rory Atkinson and Valdimakis. Check how close it is for Class B's though. Nathan goes on defensive at, Ramsey around the outside. He's trying to get that last ditch effort in a drag race to the line, but unfortunately is just going to be found wanting by a few seconds, and action right at the end of the race as well. De Beer gets it all out of shape. Class C is going to go to Jacques Smith, a fantastic drive, brand new car for him, and he said he was going to take it, and that's exactly what he did.
James Hurley then, from Rory Atkinson, Valdimakis, Etienne Prinsloo and Ian Stevenson in Class A, your top 5.
Second of the ends there in 6th place with Prinsloo winning out ahead of Smallberger and Robertson.
Looking at the Class B results, great drive then from Darren Nathan ahead of Lyle Ramsey, Gerard Henning, Henry van Vletter, Dion Holiday in top 5.
A nice drive as well there coming out of the Class Bs, and certainly improving is Andy Gossman. Elna Cruiser finishes up behind him with Potgieter, Greenslade and Ed Link there in the top 10.
Jacques Smith was the winner of Class C ahead of Adrian Dalton, Elke van Vletter, Jakes Jacobs and Yanni van Rooyen, your top 5 there.
Flip over the board and Bota Roos, Stuart Mack, Van Sel, Cruiser and Zander Roos make up the top 10 in C. As we saw at the beginning of the race, problems there for Andre Needham. We found out what went wrong.
Came up into the starting box and I was just pushing a little bit forward just to get correctly into the box, and all of a sudden there was no drive. Inner CV broke.
Big pity there, but hopefully get it all sorted out now for race 2 as they come to the line. Looks like it's going to be another tight affair at the front end. Will James Hurley be able to take a double? Let's wait and see. I know that Nathan is looking to try and do that, as is Jacques Smith in that brand new car of his. On board with Valdimakis as we head down towards turn 1, and a good start once again from Atkinson. I think he's going to outgun him into turn 1, but not able to catch Mr. Harry Potter himself, James Hurley.
So that's the Class A's down through turn 1. We're going to look back at Class B. They do start separately, A, B and C, which is good for this formula. That does give them opportunity of dicing amongst themselves. So Class B hauls off the line. This is going to be another great race, I'm sure. And who's it into turn 1? Oh, and it's Lyle Ramsey going around the outside. He loves that line, doesn't he?
Yeah, Ramsey gets the double hole shot there, and looks like Henning went with him. Didn't look like it was a great start from the Batman. He got a completely wrong line going through there. Let's see if his missus can do a little bit of a better job. And she's got off the line nicely. Yannick van Rooyen goes along, as does Adrian Dalton. Look out for Jakes Jacobs in the Nathan's Motorsport Polo, but it looks like Van Vletter might have outgunned Jacques Smith to turn 1. Smith in the new Polo. The Bat Lady goes around the outside. Yes, please. That's how you get the whole shot. Very similar line to what Lyle Ramsey was able to take, and makes sure that she is now at the front end of Class C right from the word go.
We're expecting lap times to be a little bit slower this time around, because don't forget they're on the same set of tyres they started the day with. So tyre wear and of course heat does come into it later on in the day.
Yeah, especially on the slightly cooler conditions here at this time of the year. And of course this track is pretty abrasive, so let's wait and see what those times get down to. Right now it doesn't seem to be phasing the first two, because Atkinson is sliding into Incini 1 and 2, trying to close down on Hurley. And Hurley...
Atkinson very late in there, Greg. That was absolutely unbelievable. He just held on to it, kept his foot buried. That's the way to do things.
Yeah, a lovely bit of driving there, nice bit of driving from these two. Henning has got to second place. He managed to do it off the line, so it's now up to Nathan, who you can see is trying extremely hard to get back up to the front end of those two white Polos. Gossman on the back end of the Batmobile as they head down the back straight. In these cars, Golf 2 is probably going to be close to the 185 km/h mark as they pitch it into the right-hander here. Oh, Gielkop is not for the light-hearted.
Just off the throttle, no brakes though. Off the throttle, back on, make the front wheel drive, and down into that final turn. A lot of tyre smoke coming off the back end of those cars.
I don't want to tell you how many times I've seen cars go off heading into that double right-hander, Dave, especially in Comsol Volkswagen Challenge. It usually means cold tyres, it usually means one person spins, and as soon as a car spins in front of you, there's kind of a sympathetic or empathetic spin from 2 or 3 cars behind.
Lyle Ramsey though, he got this one covered at the moment. Back with the Class C cars, Elke van Vletter. She's got at least 10-yard lead. I mean, this is fantastic for her.
It's lovely to get ahead and just make sure that you get away from the rest of this very competitive field. Adrian Dalton, the extra shoes car man, of course, really puts in an effort, and you can see just how hard he's working behind Jake Jacobs. Jacobs has been in and out of racing for a long, long time. At one stage, he was a championship contender in this particular category, and now just having a bit of fun in the Class Cs. But you can see in amongst some of his good friends, Adrian Dalton, Yannick van Rooyen, and of course, the new man to Class C, Jacques Smith, in that brand new Polo.
Back with the Class B battle as they really are nose to tail coming up towards the section of the track, and Nathan into the bush, and a couple of cars behind him do the same thing.
As I said, empathy and sympathy, I think, is what it's all about there. Hollywood Holiday has already been off circuit, and I think the Batman will be concerned every time he puts a wheel onto the dirt, because we know what happened in race 1. Right now, though, it's a battle between the two white polos, and the all Toyota Spares machine is certainly giving the youngster, Ramsey, a very good run for his money.
Gerard Henning, we haven't seen him this close to the front in the past. He's having a fantastic drive.
Jacques Smith out. Jacques Smith out. That is one of the leading contenders in Class C, parking it on the sideline just on the exit of turn 1. That is a massive pity. So he's
Where's Adrian Dalton going?
Just heading towards the VIP suites there, I think. Eh?
Has he booked a suite for today? Oh, and yes, look at that drive down the back straight. So important. Got onto the sand, and that's it. 2 cars snuck by him.
Mansell sneaks through and looks like he's just demoted Dalton, as you said, down 2 positions as they head in there. And there we go. Stevenson running wide now. So, as you mentioned earlier, Dave, I think tyres are becoming a major issue here. These guys would have pushed really hard in the first race, and now in the second one, they're starting to feel the effects of how hard they pushed.
Ian Stevenson running off the track there, and that is one of the places where it's so bumpy as well, easy to lose the traction. Anyway, he's back on the track safely. This is the dice going on right now, though. And it looks like Rory Atkinson coming under a lot of pressure right now from Volky Mankies.
Now, Voldemake is definitely on the back end of him looking for a way. Ian Prinsloo having a great run there in the VCX car, and unfortunately is not quite on pace just yet, but
Nathan's made up a place.
Yes, he has. He now puts himself into the meet in between the 2 sandwich there, and the 2 white cars are now split by Nathan. Then you can see a bit further back here. Nice bit of driving. Not quite on what we expected. Elna Cruiser certainly getting to grips with that new car of hers, and just behind a battle between the 2 Golf 2s. This is Class C though, and look how things are heating up here. This is brilliant stuff.
You don't want to be in Class C. If you're an old man, anyway.
You can see Ian Stevenson is starting to make his way through.
Sorry, Ian's not an old man either. But Ian Stevenson, by the way, one of the guys who raced in the Dakar Rally on a motorcycle. So he's been around a bit, as Ian, trained by Alfie Cox and that sort of thing. Here he is driving cars. Great.
Yeah, and of course a big man behind Comsol too. So it's great to have him not only competing but also helping out with the main sponsorship of this category.
I digress. A11. 3 wheels around there. Augie Mankies. He's dragging that tyre. A lot of smoke coming off the rear tyre. I'm not sure if it's affecting the driving of the car, because really it's front wheel drive, so it shouldn't really affect him.
As we pass the old tower there, Francois Van Sales car is also parked on the sideline, Dave. So another Class C competitor out there, and unfortunately that's going to cost him dearly. Remember, he was looking for an overall championship in terms of Class C. Right now, parked on the sideline is not where you want to be.
A lot of drivers running wide out of that turn. It's just, as you say, tyre wear, traction, premium right now.
That's what they're all looking for right now. And of course, if you haven't got it, you're going to try and nurse the car home. It doesn't look like Valdi's got it, because on his outside comes the Sasfin car there. And in fact, looks like he might drive right past him. Yes, indeed. That is an amazing bit of driving there from Etienne Prinsloo. And the Sasfin car has left Valdi Mikey's in the Performance Masters Polo like he was looking for parking.
I think Valdi might have a problem with that car, because normally Etienne Prinsloo wouldn't be able to breeze by him down that straight. So maybe traction, but maybe he has a problem with the car as well.
Hard on the brakes, and up the inside goes Dalton on Van Rooyen. This is the view of the Bat Lady hard at work in the cockpit there of the young Golf 1. And look at this.
Bouncing
Smooth
around.
as silk, though. Look at
Bouncing
that.
around,
Yes,
though.
indeed. It is very abrasive.
Do they have
Very
suspension in these cars?
I think a small amount. Coney shocks, I think, are the options that you can run with.
There is starter pack out front. James Hurley picks up the checkers once again. Rory Atkinson will be thinking, what am I going to do to catch up to him?
This young man's had a great run, and hopefully it's going to be all good for him. Lyle Ramsey coming across to take Class B honours. Nathan didn't have an answer here in the second heat, and third is going to go to Henning. Nice drive there from Karen Henning. Class C honours, though, to the Bat Lady as Elke van Vletter comes through flag to flag. That's a good start and a great way to finish a day that didn't go so well in race 1.
Immaculate drive from Adrian Dalton, just behind her with Jannie van Rooyen. Let's take at the official results. Hurley, Atkinson, Prinsloo, Mankies and Smallberger in Class A.
Class A is then rounded off by Ian Prinsloo, Robertson, and a super run there from Ian Stevenson, who eventually came through for 8th overall.
Thought he was driving in the Dakar, going through the bush half the time. Then we take a look at the Class Bs. Darren Nathan, Henry van Vletter, Dion Holiday, Andy Gosman, Pete Potgieter. Obviously, Lyle Ramsey, you'll notice, not there. I think there's some sort of infringement.
Excluded for a technical infringement, but a great run there from Dion Holiday Jr. in his first race for 8th place.
Then we take a look at the Class C. This was an incredible battle. Well done to Elke van Vletter, ahead of Adrian Dalton, Jannie van Rooyen, Jakes Jacobs and Wayne Krause. They're in 5th place.
And rounding up the top 10, a super run there from Zander Rus, Wouter Rus beaten out by his youngster, Mac Cruiser and Krause, the top 10. The magic has certainly stayed with Harry Potter. We caught up with James Hurley after race 2.
Very well. I pretty much did everything we needed to do. And I got pole, won both races. I'm hoping for both fastest laps. Just need to find out. It was a brilliant day. Congratulations to Rory on his new car. He's right up there on the pace. So looking forward to racing with him some more.
A magnificent effort and keeps him at the front end of Class B for Darren Nathan.
We had very good pace yesterday and we had phenomenal pace in qualifying this morning. Unfortunately at the start of race 1 I broke a gearbox mount. Lylan had a very, very good race. We rubbed doors for most of the race, but I managed to win it. And in race 2, unfortunately the left rear tyres let me down a little bit. So a lot of slide, a lot of action, but managed to come home with a second.
Second race win for Elke van Vliet, but lots of competition now in Class C.
This was an awesome race. Race 1, I unfortunately botched the start completely and I fell back to 6th and had to climb my way back to 3rd. So for the second race, fortunately I had the fastest lap time, so I started off on pole and just managed to pip Jock Smith to the first corner and yeah, just managed to pull away luckily from the rest of the guys. They had an awesome dice behind me, but yeah, very, very nice day.